What's up, everybody? Welcome to Observe and Proceed, where I observe and proceed to react. And today we got a major disaster that happened in West Hollywood in LA. Well, West Hollywood's kind of like its own city. But anyway, as you can see on the right side of the screen, there's a massive sinkhole that happened because this water line broke, flooded everything. And it broke the roads and it's flooding the roads. There's a lot of streets flooded out there. It looks wild. Probably because all this stuff is old. It's like 100 years old. They never replaced it. And, it happened. It's probably going to keep happening if they don't replace these things. But, yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to react to that right now. It's still going on. I don't know how they're going to cover up. But anyway, I'd like to thank all my subscribers. Everyone has been liking the video. I highly appreciate you. And if you could do that for me right now, I appreciate you as well. Anyway, yeah, let's take a look at this.
Likely not going to happen today. They're supposed to open at 11 o'clock, so we'll
I got a
see
whole
how
other
these
video, but
businesses
I just want to show everyone
what's happening.
this massive
We're definitely
sinkhole.
of a different generation.
It's a quintessentially LA interview that you just did out there, Mario. But yeah, it's true. I mean, these businesses will be impacted.
Businesses
for
impacted.
days to come.
Yeah.
We think of Dialogue.
I guess he
Cafe,
interviewed
which
some
is hugely popular
business
in that
owners,
area.
and they're like, "This flooded my store."
That's right.
Hey man, you gotta have that insurance money if you own any type of like store or anything. Like, the insurance has to cover the water damage, fire, all that.
All impacted.
So much fallout from this.
The loss in revenue that they have for the day.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
Let's
Mario.
go
Oh, the buses got flooded.
Let's talk about
Metro's
Metro.
releasing a statement right now, that's right.
Early
we've been
this
trying to
morning,
reach out
flooding
to them.
from
We're asking them about that Metro Depot.
All right, so anyway, let's go into this video that I have. I just wanted to show that sinkhole.
Breaking news, a massive water main break
Look
is
at
flooding
this.
streets and buildings near Sunset Boulevard and Holloway Drive. Our breaking news photographer Mike McGregor is showing us this scene right now. Water
Look at the dude walking right here. Bro, you're walking straight into it.
flooding down the streets. CBS LA's Rick Montanez is live at the scene in West Hollywood. Rick, what can you tell us what's happening? Do we have any idea where
By the way, West Hollywood is like the fruity side of town. Yeah, that's where all that pride stuff takes place. Yeah. I'm just saying.
this even started?
You know, Amanda, I got to tell you this.
Ah!
I've never seen anything like
This
this
dude.
before. And check it out here. I mean, just all
The rapids
of
are
this
coming.
water that is coming down here. This is so intense. It's just really stunning to see. And this started at 3:30 this morning. We're not exactly sure,
Dang.
at least
Middle of the night.
exactly the pinpoint spot where the water broke from. But this is just intense. This is going down Palm Avenue that you're looking at live right now. Incredibly dangerous to see someone standing in the water here. But we've seen people walk through here. We've seen cars drive through here. That is simply just very dangerous.
For now.
We want to show you a little bit of video from just
Look,
a few
the
hours ago.
street
when this
here
first
turned into
started.
a wash.
Pretty wild to see. And so all of this water is coming down from Sunset, heading toward Santa Monica Boulevard. If you're familiar with the West Hollywood area, again, rushing down Palm where we are, we've seen a lot of water going into
Dang,
buildings.
okay. So it's going into homes, apartments, all that damage. I think insurances are about to pull out of LA, bro. Like, this is so much damage. Water damage. That's going to accumulate over here.
We've seen water flooding into at least 5 different parking garages. So it's very
Cars.
intense situation here this morning. I want to see if we can show you from our breaking news photographer down the street from us, his vantage point, because he's at Palm, just closer to Santa Monica Boulevard. And same thing that we're seeing up here. He's also seeing several cars that have been pushed off the street where they were parked and moved sideways or into the middle of the road because of the power of this rushing water. It is so intense, and really you just want to be avoid this whole area if you can. There are street closures all around. Clearly, Palm is closed. I can tell you on my drive up here, Santa Monica Boulevard is also
Well,
closed.
that's a
at the
no-brainer.
moment. The sheriff's
Should be
department, the fire
closed.
department, they're all working with public works crews to try and
See, if that was me right here, I'm not waiting for it to flood. Like, if I lived in this apartment, I'm taking my car out of here. I'm going to higher ground. As you can see, there's a bunch of hills right here. I'm heading up to higher ground, getting my car out of there. Because if that reaches the engine, it's a done deal. Plus, you know, like water corrodes paint and all that. Yeah, I'm out of here. I don't know what these people are keeping their cars in there for.
Get this water main off, but with the scope of how much water is coming down, you've got to imagine, based on the experience I have of covering these are large pipes, and so you can't just shut them off immediately. It has to.
Or maybe they're still
trickle
asleep. They don't
down,
even know what's going on, because this was early in the morning.
Rupture somewhere else, and so that is based on, you know, seeing these water main breaks happen in other areas. Nothing that I have seen is this large. So really, it's just impressive to see. Frightening for the people who woke up to this. We know that people also woke up.
This is pretty large. I haven't seen this either. But
units,
like I was saying, there all these pipes are like hundreds, like at least 100 years old. They're gonna, you know, you don't fix anything, it's gonna rupture, it's gonna break. Things like this are gonna happen, and if they don't fix it, because Karen Bass, I don't know what she does with the city's money. I don't know. Could keep happening.
There's also, you know, flooded garages, and if we can, if we have our camera up right now, and you look down the street, just past where you see a car coming out, actually, past the stop sign, but you see as the water hits the street poles, how it gushes
filming
up
content.
because there's just so much pressure, so much water rushing down all at once. It just shows you how powerful this is. So certainly want to stay out of this water. We're not sure exactly what type of pipe it was that burst, clearly a water main, but how old it was, all of that stuff still to be determined. But this morning we can tell that there is going to be a lot of damage. There is going to be a lot of insurance claims filed, most likely.
Definitely.
And certainly the focus right now, though, is shutting off this water, also making sure that nobody has...
Oh, look, these cars right here were moved. The water moved these cars right here. Look at that. It moved this one right into that one.
Because, of course,
like I said, you got to get your car out
could
the
potentially
way.
be a life-threatening situation if you're not careful. SkyCal also showing us a glimpse of what things are like out here and just how large scale this is. As I told you, I was driving down.
All right,
Santa
so it
Monica
started
Boulevard.
right here. This is that
Part of that
sinkhole.
closed because there's so much water in the street there as well.
Oh, wait. It's not even a sinkhole yet. It's coming out, but the ground hasn't caved in yet. So we saw how it caved in just like, that was like an hour ago, that footage. So all that water caved that in.
No sign of this slowing down yet in the time that we've been out here for several hours this morning. So this will go on likely all day here. We are working to get
Still
more
going on,
information
though, I'll
for
tell you
and
that.
Figure out just how big this is, when this should hopefully be cleared up. Our assignment manager, Mark Liu, is at the desk now with to pick up our coverage from here. Mark, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Rick. You're right. This is an incredible water main break. We have not seen water coming out of the ground and rushing down a hillside like that, even during major rain events. Now, here at the desk, we have been monitoring this with SkyCal and, of course, with our crews on the ground. But these are live pictures from SkyCal. As you can see, just how unfortunate the placement of this water main break is. If you're familiar with the geography of West Hollywood, it appears that this break is at essentially the top of a very steep slope. It's essentially Sunset and Holloway. Now, if you've ever driven through this area, you know that those northbound streets, as they approach Sunset, go uphill pretty steeply. And with SkyCal, you can see that appears to be the break location right there. You can see the uneven ground, broken ground there, and all of that water coming up and then heading directly down Palm Avenue.
Let's see the buses.
Got some video that I want to show you that was shot with our breaking news crew of some buses that were flooded. This is a Metro bus yard that is to the south of where this
buses
break
are going out of service.
These Metro buses, one of them obviously
got to get them
running
out, right.
here. There's a driver behind it, but the water up to the wheel wells, very likely it is water inside of that bus. Look at all of these buses.
All the buses
that have been flooded, and this water level is continuing to rise because this is all downhill.
They need to take them to a parking lot
initial
somewhere.
Water main break is. Now, I want to show
They will
you
all
on
be
my
out of
map
service
where this
if
is to give
they-
you a
if they
better
leave
idea.
them
Let's
there.
zoom in here. This is the West Hollywood area, and I've marked right here essentially where this break is.
Yeah.
What we saw with SkyCal, it's right in here. This is essentially where we saw that water main break, or maybe it's right in this area. And you can see as it goes downhill this way, the hill in this area is what is causing all of those problems. This is essentially a downhill slope directly down Palm Avenue. So all of that water running in that southbound direction is what's causing all of these problems. Now, if I zoom out again here and rotate the map, you can see this water, it'll run down here into the San Vicente. This is San Vicente running down this way. And all of that water is coming through here and going in this direction. So there's a tremendous amount of flooding in this area. And the streets essentially around this
that's
break.
a few blocks right there.
The sheriff's department said, these areas here, and here are all at issue right now because of this water. Now, if our director can go back to SkyCal, we can see a little bit more of what this water is doing to all of these homes. There is some evidence that water is going into some of these properties and certainly into these cars here that are on the street. It's a tremendous amount of water. Now, one of the things we've asked DWP is what's the size of this water main? We don't know. It is apparently running under a major street, and a lot of times, just the way city planning goes, major water mains follow major streets.
They did
like
not
Sunset.
expect
There's
this.
Oftentimes, large
They pay high
water
prices to
lines
live
under
there.
the
It's
major
expensive
streets
to live there
because
in those apartments.
that's essentially, the main hub of where all of the water branches out from. It goes into neighborhoods. The water mains get a little bit smaller as they go into the neighborhoods, but main streets usually
watch
carry
out.
large water mains. It could be 12
trying to get
inches,
a
it
car
could be
out. What's
larger than
going
that,
on?
but you can see here now people walking through this water, obviously waking up this morning.
Don't get swept
How are they
away.
going to get to work? What are they going to do about moving their cars? Hopefully they're going to be able to get out of here, but
Look at that.
certainly
That's
you
the
can see
cars
some of
that
those
were
cars
moved.
are now, perpendicular to the curb as they have been washed away from their initial parking location. And again, this is Palm Avenue southbound
That's
from Sunset as this.
Let's see some comments. Many of these sections of pipe are over 100 years old. Not bad holding up that long. That's what I said. They're pretty old. Wait till we have a big earthquake and all the old pipes are going to break. Oh, man, we don't want to wait for that. Los Angeles is falling apart. Incompetence and corruption for decades. Oh, man. What a nightmare. This was very major main. Probably the biggest in the city. West Hollywood's its own city, though. So that is pretty odd. Let me see some updates on this, actually.
Out the door early and
they have been replacing. When a water main breaks
All right,
on
let's
Sunset,
see.
the water is going to flood down. And well, I don't think this is what anyone
As you
wanted
can
to wake
see,
up to today. But
West
our
Hollywood
city staff
resident
is
right
on
here.
site. We will do whatever we can to assist.
This is how they are.
To make sure that people are safe and to get them the resources.
3-foot wide pipe.
Look at that.
A massive pipe
Look at that pipe.
was used to supply water to this whole area. That is what ruptured this morning.
Okay, it looks like the water stopped flowing, but it's just there now. It's just there.
Somehow, and it caused.
How
a
did
lot
they
of
get
damage.
that out? They got
Our coverage now
man, that's
continues
a lot
with
of
Andy
work.
Rose Ramos.
she is near the site of that water main break. That's that aerial
lot
shot
of
we were
work.
just showing you there, Sunset Boulevard and Holloway Drive.
At least they
Andy
stopped
Rose, good
the
morning.
rush of the water.
Hey guys, good morning to you both. Yeah, the site of the water main break has now turned into a massive sinkhole.
Look at
The
this
mayor
guy.
where I'm standing right
Trying
now,
to get
saying
a
a few
shot.
minutes ago that this is a huge impact on the surrounding communities because of what you see behind me. Take a look. That is where all of those LADWP men are sort of coalescing because what they say is exactly what
It's a
Eric
lot of
said.
work.
This
They did
is
not
a
sign up for that.
massive pipe, 36 inches. A steel pipe from the 1900s. We heard from the mayor
Wow.
about the infrastructure that is incredibly old here, and it goes through Sunset Boulevard here, bringing water from one point to another. It is massive. The pressure is astounding. As of right now, they still don't know what caused this pipe to rupture. You see all of the LADWP staffers there. They are looking down into that hole. What is happening now? Well, now that they've shut off the water to the valve, the water from coming out of the valve, I should say, they are trying to figure out how to get this heavy equipment in here, move out all of the water that is in that sinkhole so that they
And I
can
wonder
then
if this is,
place their personnel down into the sinkhole
sewage that
and
comes
figure out
back
what
or the sewage that comes in. Because if it's the sewage that comes back, that's a lot of toxins, right? That's a lot of poop and pee. Wow. Well, I don't know. They haven't even said that.
needs to repair. It is
But
then
look at
they
the
tell
water
us
looking
they
brown
will have
here.
a better idea about how long this repair will take, because we know the impact of this community and the greater community that uses these streets every single day to get to where they're going is going to be huge. I want to bring in Asher. You live on Holloway. And what's funny is you were fast asleep this morning. You had no idea.
Oh,
You
okay,
were
they're gonna
woken
interview
to the
him. I
sound
thought he
of
was just trying to
text
get into the shot.
messages of your friends asking if you were okay.
Yeah, exactly. So fortunately for me, the water missed most of Holloway. But I think what you're alluding to is the concern
West
over
Hollywood
how long
resident.
this takes to
They all
repair.
like this, man.
A lot of traffic comes through, a lot of businesses. And Holloway is the main connective road between Santa Monica Boulevard and Sunset here. So I'm kind of concerned for how long that'll take to resolve.
You know, we have the sinkhole, that massive one behind me that we're talking about. But we also saw another smaller one form on Palm, right at Holloway and Palm. We literally have video of two people falling into that sinkhole
What?
as it was being opened
Let's
up.
see the video.
You know, we asked about whether or not there are additional sinkholes. At this point, they do not know. And there is, per the West Hollywood Mail, who we heard from earlier, you know, they have an evacuation
this it?
plan in place should they need it, but it has not been deemed necessary at this time. You know, how does
yeah.
someone like you wake up in the morning and then
Someone
walk
barely
outside
slipped
and
in
see
there.
sinkholes outside of your front door? How do you react to that?
Yeah, well, it's unusual. It does draw into question some of the city's aging infrastructure, like we talked about earlier, the other similarly sized water main by UCLA, probably within the past decade, that caused a significant amount of flooding, damage, potential danger to the students. So, you know, when you consider some of these things are 125 years old under the ground and are critical pieces of infrastructure, there's bound to be other instances of that in the vicinity. So
You work from home, though, we should say. So you're
Okay, so as you can see what's going on, at least they stopped the water from flooding and I mean rushing out. It's gonna take a while to clean up though. You know, that sucks. At least I don't think anyone died. A lot of insurance claims will happen. Let's see some more comments. Newsom is preparing to tax West Hollywood for too much water usage. I was supposed to drive to West Hollywood for work this morning. Glad I didn't. Horrible situation. So you just skip work. Nice. We are working on replacing the water lines infrastructure. You don't wait 110 years to replace water lines. You continually check them and make sure everything is kept up to code. So this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Seems like everything the government does is backwards. I feel sorry for the people that have to go through this and all their belongings, cars, and homes are damaged, as well as all the fires that are out of control. Yeah, I mean, that's part of living in LA. You pay the highest rent and you deal with this type of stuff. Welcome to LA, man. Welcome to LA. Anyway, guys, I'll keep you updated on what happens here with the cleanup and everything. So keep it locked, like, and subscribe. I'm out.